Caring about things I've always found to be a weird hobby. Like, there's better hobbies out there.
Well, okay. How about let's widen the aperture to a more national stage because Trump had his big comeback rally in Tulsa, Oklahoma, this past week, and it was a rousing success. I mean, I'm looking at the local Tulsa Fire Department's estimates of how many people turned out, and it was actually 400 million people showed up to see. Donald talk for 15 minutes straight about setting the record straight on whether he can drink water like an adult human being or not.
He did it. He drank the water.
He drank it on stage, exactly like they.
And everyone was very, very proud of him.
Virgil is taking a sip on screen right now. He's demonstrating the correct way to drink from a glass, one-handed.
You mean two-handed, shakily, like you're holding nitroglycerin, the way Trump does? You mean?
Well, okay.
He's just got DTs.
I got to bring up his actual comments here. So yeah, I mean, basically, Trump dedicated most of the time during his speech, and I happen to think of what I saw. I think it was probably one of the best ones he's ever given.
Absolutely, the best one any president has ever given.
Yeah, it's that's why people are tearing down statues of Lincoln because the Gettysburg Address is over.
Yeah, dog shit.
Now,
get it out of here.
It's horse shit. Yeah, now we have the silk tie explanation speech. But yeah, Trump is, you could tell he really wanted to get out there and, he loves it because he loves speaking to the people directly in a medium that's unmitigated by media bias or anything like that. And I could tell he was really stung by his appearance at West Point, in which he drank water like a baby and then nearly fell down a ramp, or he just he walked down it like he had ice skates on or something, and he was very upset about that, and he wanted to set the record straight.
It was not an alpha posture, I think you could say.
No, I mean normally his standing posture is very normal, but it was
incredibly.
Actually, maybe
like he's in a hurricane and he's just holding on for dear life with every muscle in his legs.
Maybe that was the problem for him going down sort of like a very gradual incline. Is that his normal his foundation is he leans forward so much that once you get on an incline, it's like he becomes too top heavy and he could fall over.
Yeah, he's like a French bulldog.
So let's see here. He says, I'm just quoting directly from Trump here. He says, so then my wife said, well, it wasn't only the ramp. Did you have water? I said, yeah, I was speaking for a long time. I didn't want to drink it, but I wanted to wet my lips a little bit. You're drinking. You're working hard up there with the sun pouring down on you. I love this location. The sun's like this. This way they save on lighting, right? So he's talking about the fact that he was outdoors at West Point. And he was just like, they got the sun here. It's great. They don't need electricity for anything. It's just
they save so much
it's like
money.
A big light bulb in the sky.
They saved so much money bringing all those West Point cadets back just to listen to him and have them all contract coronavirus.
So he says,
but it was outdoors. It was a good budget move.
So he says, what happens is, I said, what does it have to do with water? They said, you couldn't lift your hand up to your mouth with water. I said, I just saluted 600 times like this. And this was before I saluted, so what's the problem? She said, well, I know what you did. You had on a very good red tie that's sort of expensive. It's silk because they look better. They have a better sheen to them. And I don't want to get water on the tie. I don't want to drink too much, so I lifted up the water. I see we have a little glass of water. Where the hell did this water come from? Where did it come from? I look down at my tie because I've done it. I've taken water and it spills down onto your tie. It doesn't look good for a long time. And frankly, the tie is never the same. So I put it up to my lip and I say, and then it just says inaudible. And they gave me, and they gave me another disease. They gave me another disease. Anyway, that's a long story, but here's the story.
What? Wait a minute.
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about.
He's burying the lead here. He's being poisoned by the deep state. What's going on?
I love this quote here. He says, I have lived with more the ramp than the water, but I have lived with the ramp and the water since I left West Point. It's really haunting him. It's haunting him.
He's lived with it.
He's lived with the ramp and the water.
This is what I mean when I say that he is genuinely miserable every moment of his life. He's never been happy for a second of his life because he had like 5 seconds of fun in front of the army men, and then somebody told him, you drank water like an old man, and it just consumed his brain from that point on. He can never have a moment peace. It's astounding.
Continuing,
but my favorite thing about the water deal is that he's trying to dispel the idea that he's an old man because he used 2 hands to drink, and then his explanation is, but I didn't want to get water on my tie. And it's like, yeah, nobody wants to spill water when they drink, but they're able to take that take care of that easily with one hand because their motor functions are not dissolving. It's like he said, people keep wondering why I wear a diaper. I was wearing very expensive pants. I didn't want to get shit on them. It's like, yeah, nobody wants to get shit on their pants. That's why they go to the bathroom.
I did like all of the crowing from like the MAGA contingents because he very defiantly drank a glass of water with one hand and then just dumped the water out. He was like, here, have it, you stupid pigs, you thirsty?
Yeah.
And I like
that was the funny thing. I said he was trying to show his motor skills, and so he drank it with one hand, but then he threw it, and I guess he was supposed to be badass, but I just kept thinking he didn't actually put it down, and that is the toughest part. It's
Yes.
getting it back from your lips that's the difficult part, and he just pulled the parachute on that.
No, but I did like the crowing of people who were sharing images of him just simply drinking a glass of water, and they were like, "Checkmate, media libs. Trump can drink water." And it's just like, there we go. And then just to round things out here, he says, not one media group said I made a good speech or I made a great speech, but the kids loved it because they broke their barrier, which wasn't good in terms of COVID, but they broke their barrier and they wanted to shake hands. They wanted to. I don't want to tell anybody, but there were a couple of kids, they put out their hand. I actually shook their hand, okay? I actually shook them because they were excited. They were excited. They were there with their president. They were excited. The most beautiful young people, men, women, the most beautiful young people you've ever seen. So you think, how you feel if you're me? I go there. How did I do? Sir, that was a great speech. You know all my people. Sir, that was one of the best. That was great. I said, that's great. I agree. It was a good speech. I like that speech. They don't mention the speech because they have me going down the ramp. It's so unfair. It really is. So unfair. They're among the most dishonest people anywhere on earth. They're bad people. Bad people. So there we go. I guess the newsworthy bit of that speech is that, when he gets a little energy from the crowd, he just, we love Trump when he's skeeting, bebopping, and jazzing.
Oh yeah.
And he
off the
managed
cuff is always best.
And, because he felt a little bit of heat from the crowd, he just decided to admit that he intentionally spiked the expansion of coronavirus testing because he said the results would look bad.
He was kidding.
He was kidding.
He was joking.
Okay.
It's a joke.
Okay.
Everything he says is real unless it's a joke, but then the jokes are also real, but in a different way. You have to read him through a Straussian lens.